All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. We are continuing our EV sector review, looking at Mullen and Polestar. I've been talking about the 100 moving average on Mullen for months, and when it finally broke and this was all that it delivered, I was just wildly disappointed, okay? And we'll go over the details later, but man, Mullen should have done so much better than really what were these just 4 days. Yeah. Again, let's get into the details shortly, real quick. What are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages, these horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. So look, Mullen, look, I'm on my videos. You're never gonna hear me talk about like short manipulation, the float count, just things like that. I sincerely try to stay away from. Okay, do I think there's some shady things happening? Yeah, I do. But I try to just look at the lines and ignore the noise. Right? That's my trading strategy. Some of the noise a lot of people find like useful and things like that. Right? Again, for me, it's all about breaking and holding the lines or just losing them, right? So when I saw this, because let's just zoom out real quick, okay? This I'm still zooming out. It's been a really, really long time since we've been over this blue line, all right, the 100 moving average. There was this little moment right here, but I mean, it wasn't very sustained. It was a nice pop up. It dropped this 100 has been well over a year under, okay, and not just under, very under. So when we made the first break and the second break and then the fail, clearly it became this, once we break the line, good things will happen, And as good as a candle this was, I often say the day after matters more. The confirmation matters in the first break, okay? I'm not here for a quick pop. For sure, that was a nice little percentage, right? It went from sub 30 to almost 36. That's like almost 30% right there in that one candle, right? But then boom, it just loses the couple moving averages that it broke. Roughly speaking, it's at around 50% candle. The cool thing is it doesn't really lose 50% candle, and that at least keeps it going up. It actually never loses the 8 moving average, but yeah, I cared about this 100, right? So we come back down, we obviously break it, but what just ultimately sucks is we never got a green candle over that, okay? Man, that 40 cent, like, it just sucked. And obviously this day was a little over it, right? This is not a good confirmation break on this at all, right? I want this guy as my confirmation up, right? So what it, I just you I hope you should. I'll be honest, I had money in this thing when it broke and it got over this line. I was in, and to basically go here and then back down was just ugly, right? And I don't know if I profited much, if anything, but it wasn't supposed to be the if much, if not anything, right? And I actually could have put it in a couple other places that did really well in the end of January, you know what I mean? So it's just wildly, wildly sad when a technical move doesn't happen. And for me, what sucks more is that I could have had my money somewhere else where like I literally saw money coming in there, right? So yeah, and look, give me your opinion of why. I don't have a good answer, I'll be honest. For me, the real technical answer was there was never a good enough candle break of the 1-5 candle. Okay, January 5th wasn't that long ago. It was roughly a month ago, right? On the daily chart, I mean, that's right around the corner, right? So I often say get over that last big green candle. Otherwise, this is basically it. And look, let's just kind of talk about these 2 days too. That's a doji, and that's an even tighter doji, right? And dude, people sincerely believed it was gonna fly, right? I'm telling you, I was one of them, right? I'm at least glad I got in a little closer to the actual break of the. I literally got in on this thing right there, right? Once my alert hit on that break, I was game, right? And yeah, what I saw when I got in, I'll be genuine with you. I was expecting to break this, then come here, right? My honest thought when I made my buy was I was coming to 54 cents. I thought we would come to this peak and then that was it. Maybe a wick up here, but I actually had a sell for right there. It was little below 55 cents because in my head zeros and fives. But yeah, I thought we were going to hit that peak. I was going to make a beautiful little profit because again, we were in the 30s, right? You're talking about almost 50% right there, right? And clearly that didn't happen. So I'm telling you, like that is what I saw happening. That was the move. You can see the RSI getting ready to go too, right? MACD was getting ready to go too, right? The last couple days of volume were getting ready to go, and then it just failed. And I'm telling you, I don't have much of a better answer than this 1-5 candle. If you have anything, I'm telling you, throw it in the comments. I am not all knowing or perfect. Like, give me your, I would much rather you tell me than my money be wrong in the market. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, disappointing. Like, just wildly disappointing. And I also remember this. Look, this isn't an ugly weekly. Let's zoom out a little bit. That 100 moving average story is roughly speaking the same 20 moving average story on the weekly, right? Okay, it's a super hard zoom. Oh, it didn't do the equivalent zoom out. Interesting. But look, this blue line basically comes to a little after January 2020, right? This orange line comes roughly, I mean, yeah, basically right here, a little after January 2020, right? So it's the same story. We get this little fake break right here. We get what looks like a good break. And again, this had an 85-cent target, right? This right here had the 52-cent target, close to that 54 that I was talking about. 52 is probably where I had my sell, but obviously it never hit, right? So, yeah, horribly disappointing. I'm telling you. I know there's a lot of passion in this stock. I've tried to take in the passion out of this thing. For me, it's when the lines break, I'm ready. And look, this stock is very often the number one stock in volume, right? So it's a little sad that we never got one of these like volume pumps here, right? But just a lot can be said about the why, but Mullen, I'm telling you, I was wildly disappointed. Literally on a personal level, like I could have been doing better things with my money than watching Mullen just trade at that 40-cent line. So yeah, okay. This one as well, okay? This one makes me laugh just a little bit, all right? So, this one, okay, you can tell like my words are, again, this one, how many times am I going to say this one? That was the last time. Polestar, I remember saying the technicals were just getting so juicy. This had that same 100 moving average thing, but look, the RSI was looking good, MACD was starting to look good, and I just kept screaming, give me volume, give me volume, give me volume. This day finally breaks 3 million. 3 million was the number I wanted because roughly that was, yeah, exactly. I remember that 3 million number, right? That was the 50 at this area. We've now dropped so much that our 50 moving average is roughly 2 million, right? We gave up 33% volume in the last whatever it took for that line to come down, right? But you can see it, right? No one's been, sorry to zoom out so much, but no one's really been buying Polestar that much, right? Which sucks. And again, this one pop is nice, but the confirmation, right? This one pop was nice, but the confirmation, right? I'm telling you, I know it seems silly when I say like, for lack of words, don't buy it on this day, buy it on the next day, right? And you see a big green candle and you're like, why is this guy telling me wait for tomorrow when today looks good? Because for real, I've seen worse than this. That next day tells you so much about the 2-day reality. You know what I mean? Like, as good as this looks, it's all in hindsight the day after. As nice as this looked, getting over all these moving averages, right? As getting over this, like, no, right? That's the reality. It was sadly a fake out, right? So, I was more disappointed in Mullen, or yeah, in Mullen because I actually had money in Mullen. Polestar was just really disappointing to look at. And there were a couple moments where I, for real, was ready to throw down some cash. I think it might have been this day. For all I know, it might have been this day too. But yeah, there were. Oh man, this stock looks so juicy at times. But again, the confirmation is what we're looking for. Because if it could confirm that screams sustained uptrend, and that's what we're here for, right? I would much rather put my money in a stock that I know I can go to bed in, wake up and see a 4% 5% day. I'm real good with that because if you do that over a week, man, that's a beautiful gain, right? That's a lot easier than popping 30, dropping 10, dropping 10, dropping 40, right? And those are realistic numbers, right? So don't fool yourself on safer trading, for lack of words, versus the other game of trading. But look, this thing's going horizontal on the weekly, going horizontal on the daily, right? All four moving averages are super, super tight. And look, this is a new stock. We still don't have a 200 moving average line, right? When I click on the last candle, you'll see it hasn't been 200 days of trading yet. So that break of the 100 would have meant so many things. Yeah, again, disappointing for sure. But I think Mullen might have been a little bit more of a fake out than this one. Just my 2 cents. But hey, if you disagree with anything, throw it in the comments. Again, I'm not perfect or all knowing. I'm telling you. So I care about your thoughts as well. So hey, I appreciate your time for real. Thank you so much. Have a great one.